Football's back, and Whole Foods Market has everything you need for a delicious tailgate or watch party. Level up your game day hosting with marinated chicken wings, chicken sausages, hot dogs, and more. Headed to a friend's house? On the way, grab crowd-pleasing snacks from Whole Foods Market, like Late July tortilla chips and Primal Kitchen queso dip. And don't forget the beer. Very important. Just check out that local selection. Elevate game day with Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
It's back to school time, and honestly, I'm a little worried about getting up out of bed to teach my classes. These new sheets I got from Brooklinen are just too good. Brooklinen is the internet's favorite sheets, and according to Wirecutter and Good Housekeeping, Brooklinen has best-in-class bedding. So if you don't trust me or their 100,000 five-star customer reviews, you know these experts have done the research. Brooklinen uses only the highest quality materials for all of their products, so everything they create is built to last. And not to mention, they're stylish. Comfortability and quality go a long way for me, as they do for anyone. But stylish? That makes Brooklinen a triple threat. So shop in store or online at brooklinen.com today to give yourself the luxurious sleep you deserve this summer. Use promo code OHD for $20 off your online purchase of $100 or more, plus free shipping on brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Use promo code OHD for $20 off, plus free shipping. This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2277, 3 Food Label Claims and What They Mean, by Danielle Omar of foodconfidence.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, happy Saturday and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, or OHD, where I act as your narrator of popular health and fitness blogs and provide my commentary at the end. And we have a bunch of shows where we do this very same thing, but covering other topics. Just search for Optimal Living Daily in your podcast app to find them. But for now, let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. 3 Food Label Claims and What They Mean, by Danielle Omar of foodconfidence.com. Even as a dietitian who truly loves grocery shopping, weeding through all of the different food label marketing claims gets a bit overwhelming. From vague phrases like natural and healthy to other confusing claims like grass-fed and free-range, it can be hard to know which words to trust and which ones to think twice about, and for good reason. After diving into the topic of health claims on egg cartons, I was inspired to investigate 3 other commonly used food label marketing claims: gluten-free, natural, and grass-fed. The thing with many food label claims is they can be worded in ways that make us think we're choosing something better than something else. Like, we're getting the better choice, the healthier choice, the more nutritious choice, when in reality, phrases like gluten-free, natural, and grass-fed don't have a lot to do with the food's nutritional value. After all, some of the most nutritious foods available, like produce, leafy greens, herbs, and seafood, often have no labels. So while many gluten-free, natural, and grass-fed foods are indeed nutritious, it's important to know what these food claims actually mean in terms of your health and your food budget. Are they worth the higher cost? And if so, why? In today's post, we're taking a closer look at 3 common food label marketing claims. 1. Gluten-free. People avoid gluten for many different reasons, whether they have celiac disease, gluten sensitivities and intolerances, or they're following an autoimmune protocol in hopes of easing autoimmune symptoms such as joint pain, swelling, and fatigue. However, one super common misconception is that gluten-free foods are lower in carbohydrates, more nutritious, and better for your health than their gluten-containing counterparts. This is especially important to note because most of the gluten-containing foods we eat are processed or packaged foods like crackers, cookies, cereals, breads, and refined grains. That's right, most gluten-containing foods are packaged or processed foods, and when it comes to your health, whether they contain gluten isn't nearly as important as all of the other ingredients. Processed foods can be loaded with artificial colors and flavorings, preservatives, and industrial oils. Healthier processed foods contain better-for-you oils, natural flavors and colors, and generally more recognizable ingredients. So it is important to be discerning here. Healthier processed foods that contain gluten include frozen fruits and veggies, canned tuna, BPA-free canned beans, single whole grains like brown and wild rice, pasta, quinoa, and farro, cereals like oatmeal, muesli, and granola, salsa, and some raw energy bars like Larabar and others. Keep in mind that while there are many clean, naturally gluten-free foods to choose from, this doesn't mean you should completely eliminate gluten from your diet, unless you have to. It's best to listen to how your unique body responds to gluten, cutting it out or scaling back if necessary. Gluten-containing foods also carry with them important nutrients like B vitamins, fiber, and magnesium. Understanding gluten-free food labels. Now that we've cleared up the misconception that gluten-free always means healthy, clean, or nutritious, let's talk food labels. The FDA regulates gluten-free claims on all foods and dietary supplements, except for meat, poultry, and certain eggs. These are regulated by the USDA. Gluten-free alcoholic beverages are regulated by the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. According to the FDA, gluten-free food label claims are allowed if foods are inherently free of gluten, foods contain less than 20 parts per million of gluten, this is the lowest amount of gluten that can be reliably detected, and if foods are free of all wheat, rye, and barley ingredients, or they're free of ingredients derived from these grains. If you have celiac disease or a true gluten allergy, I encourage you to check out the food label reading guide from the Celiac Disease Foundation. And when reading a food label, remember that wheat-free and gluten-free are not the same. All wheat foods contain gluten, but not all gluten-containing foods contain wheat. 2. Natural. Natural food label marketing claims are some of the most confusing, since the term natural is not formally defined in the U.S. According to FDA policy, food products labeled as natural should have no artificial or synthetic ingredients added to them, including color additives. However, this policy does not account for food processing and pesticide use. As for meat and poultry products labeled as natural, the USDA requires these foods to be minimally processed, free of added colors, and free of artificial ingredients. Natural food labels should also explain what makes the product natural. For example, minimally processed, no added coloring, and no artificial ingredients would be sufficient explanations. And 3. Grass-fed or forage-fed. This commonly used food label marketing claim refers to cattle specifically. It means that instead of being fed grains or grain byproducts, cattle are fed grass and forage for the entire duration of their lives, with the exception of milk prior to weaning. During the growing season, grass-fed cattle must have continuous access to pasture, where they can forage for grass, browse plants, and cereal grain crops. On the other hand, grain-fed cattle, also known as feedlot cattle, are conventionally raised and fed diets of soy and corn. While grass-fed beef has been found to be more nutritious and humane in comparison to grain-fed beef, grass-fed food label marketing claims refer solely to the animal's diet and do not take into account whether the animal received antibiotics or hormones. An exception here is the American Grass-Fed Approved label. This is an independent certification that ensures all ruminant meat animals were fed 100% grass diets, pasture-raised on family farms, and received no hormones or antibiotics. If you can't find the American Grass-Fed Approved certification while shopping, USDA organic meat products are a good alternative. The USDA organic food label means cattle are given outdoor space to forage for food in a natural way, cattle are not given antibiotics or hormones, and cattle are fed 100% organic diets consisting of grass, forage, corn, and grain. All feed must also be free of GMOs and synthetic ingredients. Do organic food labels mean 100% organic? If you try to eat as organically as possible, keep in mind that organic claims don't necessarily mean foods are 100% organic. At least 95% of a product's ingredients must be organic in order to qualify for a USDA organic seal, but only products labeled as 100% organic are completely organic. understanding food label claims boosts food confidence. While food labels can help us make healthier choices at the grocery store, marketing claims like gluten-free, natural, and grass-fed might also mislead us into thinking a product is healthier or more nutrient-rich than it really is. This is why it's important to know what these labels mean before purchasing a food product. Purchasing food that's aligned with your values is how you develop true food confidence. You just listened to the post titled 3 Food Label Claims and What They Mean by Danielle Omar of foodconfidence.com. Good news, business owners. Hiring game-changing employees just got way easier thanks to Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform helping over 3 million businesses do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates. With Indeed's Instant Match feature, over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates the moment they sponsor a job. I especially love that if you invite these or any candidates of your choosing to apply, they are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in search. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/health. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Football's back, and Whole Foods Market has everything you need for a delicious tailgater watch party. Level up your game day hosting with marinated chicken wings, chicken sausages, hot dogs, and more. Headed to a friend's house? On the way, grab crowd-pleasing snacks from Whole Foods Market, like Late July tortilla chips and Primal Kitchen queso dip. And don't forget the beer. Very important. Just check out that local selection. Elevate game day with Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Today's author Danielle was absolutely right when it was mentioned that food labels can help us make healthier choices. In fact, studies have found that those that take the time to read food labels often consume more nutrient-dense foods and tend to lose more weight when compared to those that don't. We just need to make sure we interpret those food labels carefully. Now, when it comes to weight loss and reading food labels, this could be because those that read nutrition labels are already health conscious, which is why they're, again, reading the label in the first place. But other studies have found that by just looking at the calorie content of foods on the label, it helps us make more nutritious food choices, regardless of whether we're health conscious or not. So, I always recommend just taking a quick glance at the nutrition facts labels. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns, and before we know it, choosing more nutritious foods will become like a reflex, and we'll be able to better understand some of these food label claims. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for the Sunday show where your optimal life awaits.